Live from high atop Scott's social media studios in the heart of the Cedar City, just outside of America's Music City. This is SEC Football Review with your hosts, Jared Scott and Michael Clay. Michael, I am so excited to be here again together.
Again
Together.
I like that. No, yeah, I am too. This is fun. 3 weeks in a row.
3 weeks in a row.
Not that anybody has watched the first two, but
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. We're getting better.
Yeah.
Much, much better at this.
yeah, it's practice. We're getting better.
Practice makes perfect, right?
Yeah, and I must say, you've done a good job with your little studio here from the first week to now. 2 weeks. It looks good.
Thank you
And,
very much.
It's cleaner, and then it's fun.
It is fun, and you know, now we've finally figured out how to maybe manage cameras and cables and
Yeah.
all of the mess that comes along with this.
You even got me some new sounds. So you'll hear a little more than our regular studio audience that's out there.
Michael's excited about the
Are
sounds.
you out there, audience? Oh, laughed. You didn't have to laugh. You're out there. Oh,
You got to keep that at about half mast.
yeah. I brought it down. Forgot to get it back.
Bazinga.
Let's just leave it
Yeah.
up. Yeah, let's just leave it up.
Yeah.
Most of these are going to be, and most of these they just.
Quick
although
little-
you know, if we go in emergency mode, you know, then we probably need to manage the motion.
Look out! Hey, that's kind of appropriate with the storm.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is. In fact, you can kind of just leave it a little bit high while we're talking about the storm. It'd probably be appropriate, you know?
Yeah. See, I'm still practicing with the sound.
I know it. You're getting better and better, too. I mean, geez, it's
There we go. Yeah. No, it's fun. Last week was a good week. Starting SEC, well, a good slate of games. It was SEC and kicked off with the big game, Oklahoma, Tennessee of last week. And we learned some things. I believe Tennessee's for real. And I don't think Oklahoma is, other than defense.
oh, man, what a statement there, Michael. What a statement. That's
Tennessee covered the spread. It was, I think, 6.5 to 7.5, depending on what sport book you used. But they covered 10. I think they could have covered more. Ended up 25-15. I think Heupel let off the gas a little bit towards the end. And
trying not to humiliate his Alma.
Yeah, I think so. I really do.
I think that Oklahoma's defense is pretty good, though. And I think that's
Yeah.
playing a role in it, too. I mean, I don't think it's just that, Heupel's being nice and keeping the points down. I think there is still some Oklahoma defensive powerhouse. And
Yeah, no. But I think it was evident early on that Oklahoma wasn't going to score much. The defense early for Tennessee dominated. I mean, halftime was 19-3. So it was looking like, we're going to see a blowout.
I was curious, just kind of quickly trying to look here, talking about this game and defenses. Tennessee's defense was looking like rock stars.
Yeah, and I think they're pretty stout. I really do. I think it's going to be one of the better ones in college football.
When I felt like that Oklahoma's defense was better, and I'm bringing up the quick defense rankings when we're looking down through here. I'm trying to see, is Oklahoma even? There they are, number 28. I think this is rated by what?
It was up. It included
Offense
last
allowed?
week's game.
How are they ranking this? Yards
Per game. Yeah. So that's yards per game. Sorry. But you got to add Tennessee. I don't know what they put up yards-wise on them. But they're giving up 284 per game.
Yeah, so what was that? I just had that up, didn't I? Just a second ago with the yards per game on the...
Well, what Tennessee? Yeah.
So Tennessee had 300-something yards on them.
Which is
Oklahoma
modest.
still had 200-something yards, so they still put on more yards than Tennessee's average. right?
Oh, what did Tennessee usually get? Oh, 176 yards per game.
Tennessee's yards per game was 176.
Yeah, but you got to look at who they played. And we know that North Carolina State now is not what people thought they were.
Bazinga.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go. We
Yeah,
got, we got, we found out about North Carolina State, and then we felt this way about them.
Yeah. They did not get the price right. That's for sure.
They sure did.
This whole season, I don't think they're going to.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that last week's big game, I think everyone, Tennessee was going to win, but I thought it was closer than I was expecting. Because I told you the first 2 weeks, I didn't think Oklahoma was going to have it coming into the SEC, and they'll be middle of the road. They're not a bad team. I don't think they make the playoffs, Oklahoma.
I can't remember what we did on the spread last week. I need to have that data ready. Do you remember what my spread call was last week on that?
No,
SEC
you
game?
picked Tennessee to cover. We both did.
Did I pick?
Which was
I
like-
pick a Price is Right $1 cover? Or is it-
No. That
I thought I picked out a big blowout, didn't I? Didn't I say
Yeah.
something about Tennessee? But
I think
I'm,
you said.
I'm
Matter of
supporting my
fact,
team, right? So
yeah. You let your heart show a little bit. You said I think they're going to do more than just cover. I think was exact words.
too much heart show. Too much heart
But
show.
no, and I still think they could have scored more. I think.
Yeah. A little bit of Tennessee love, baby.
Yeah, but no, I looking forward to it. There was one other interesting game last week. I to talk to went
Oh, yeah.
overtime.
Oh,
Two
yeah.
overtimes.
Double overtime. So I was, part of me wants to say is same old Vandy.
Yep.
They can't seem to find a way to win.
Yeah.
But at the other side of that coin is, right, Missouri was ranked number 7,
Right.
right? So you're putting up an almost win, and what, they could have tied it up with just a field goal, and the ball bounced off the post. Is that, if I remember correctly?
No, it went wide left. No, it didn't hit the post.
It was close.
Yeah.
Real close.
It
And
was
he
close.
should have made it.
No,
Like, it
he
was one of
should have
those you
made
should have
that one.
made.
It was a lot closer. Yeah, I think it was a 37-yarder, 31-yarder. Yeah. So he should have made that.
But I think the big issue here is that, Vandy shows out with Missouri, and then what happened the week before was what?
Yeah, Georgia State and
I can't even bring it up because
No.
we're on the right screen, but was it Georgia State, and what was the score on that one? It's like,
I can't remember the exact score, but Vandy come back late and went ahead by 3, scored a touchdown with 1 minute and 5 seconds left,
and then
and-
still figured out a way to lose.
and allowed Georgia State to go 4 plays down the field. And at the very least, I thought, well, they're going to kick a field goal. Well, they threw a touchdown pass to win the game with about 10 seconds left.
I don't even think I got to
15.
watch that game because it wasn't even, it was like
Yeah,
an ESPN Plus game or something.
Yeah, no, you got to. Yeah, that game.
It was a special
you had
package.
to pay-
Did
yeah.
you have the special package?
Yes, I did, and I do. No, it's a
Dedicated Vandy fan.
It's a
there.
family show.
Here's the dedicated Vandy fan for
Yeah.
us.
But no, they had a chance. I wish they really needed to pull that off to get kind of a chance at bowl eligibility. 6 wins. I think that was a missed opportunity. And maybe they pick up another win down the road, surprise somebody. I don't think they're surprising Alabama in 2 weeks. They have a bye this week, Vandy does, along with Missouri.
And that's the reason why we brought these games up,
Yeah.
because simply put, right, we're looking at a situation where these guys aren't even going to be showing up on the radar this week.
Yeah.
So
Does it change your mind about Missouri being close with Vandy? Are they seventh
I
ranked?
already kind of felt like that Missouri was just not a 7.
Yeah.
I mean, watching their ball play in their previous games, I'm like,
Yeah.
really, are they ranked number 7? I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I don't.
I mean, I wouldn't say that they're a clown show or anything. It's
Do
not-
they make the playoffs?
Well, Well,
Nice.
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't see that happening.
Yeah, but we'll see. I'm not sure of their schedule, but
Well, we don't have to worry about that this week because they ain't on this
they're
week.
off, and we'll get back to them in 2 weeks.
Yep. So let's talk about this week. Speaking of
Yeah, let's start the slate of games this week.
slate of games and start our picks here.
Yeah, get into it. That's what everybody tunes in for. The audience is ready, right, audience? Yeah, they're anxious. They want to hear us talk about LSU and South Alabama. You like the new sounds. You keep touching.
I
this.
love them. I love them.
Yeah.
You're not hitting them enough. You're not hitting them enough.
No, we're talking.
Come on. You need to move up. You need to upgrade a little
Oh
bit
yeah,
here.
Mario Brothers.
That's right. You need to become the big man. The big man.
See, I like the traditional crickets. Yeah. Man, they're still out. I tried to turn them
It's
down.
because you turned down the wrong one. That's why.
Which one? Oh, yeah.
That's that one.
Oh, that's why. See?
Unbelievable.
That's why this is still practice.
This is what we're going to need for you.
Let me turn that down. That didn't turn it down.
That's the wrong one again.
Which one's the right one?
This is the one for the new sounds. The other one is the one for the
Oh, this
old
is for
sound.
me. That's too complicated. Don't add too many sounds. All right, let's start.
We're
Enough
gonna
of that
have
nonsense.
We're gonna have to recruit your child and my child to come in here and work all the boards so we can actually just talk about football.
Yeah. So first game up,
Okay.
non-conference.
Yep. We're opening up with our non-conference conversations, and in this particular one, right, we're looking at South Alabama versus LSU. Mm-hmm. In fact, I think what is this? The only non-conference this week.
Yeah.
Which is a real weird thing. But I guess
We're in SEC play, man. It's time
all
to
the
play real
non-conference
football.
stuff is over now. We got to get to serious business now.
Yeah, there'll be some sprinkled in. Well, yeah. I've seen if LSU covered last week, but they did not.
Oh, you got your what? You
Yeah.
got your Michael Vick.
It's my handy dandy Michael Vick. He helps me.
There's your camera right here.
It pays to play with Michael Vick. Yeah. It's my little notebook. Jot down some things and keep up with scores.
Well, that's what happens when the newspapers go away,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You still, yeah. I'm not going to. Yeah, that's me, old American Online. I still write scores down.
Some AOL action
Yeah.
going on there.
Yeah, I don't do this fancy new internet stuff.
All this new high-tech sounds and,
Yeah,
and
it's-
gizmos and
Just give me a crowd laughing every now and then. Clapping, laughing, having a good time.
why you're the man.
Yeah. And
Speaking of, so let's go ahead and talk about picks.
Yep.
We got LSU. LSU's 3-1 right now, and I'm trying to remember who did they lose to? Their loss was
USC.
USC, and I don't even know. I don't know that I want to go down the rabbit hole of what's going on with USC, but
Yeah, we'll see as they get ready because they're Big Ten, right?
yeah,
Yeah, we'll see.
whatever that means.
Yeah, we'll see when they start playing. I mean, beating LSU, that's a good win, but I'm not sure how strong LSU is overall.
Yep.
So, yeah, this game, though, they play South Alabama. Oh, my gosh. Did you see a score? South Alabama scored 87 points.
Who is this?
Northwest State.
Whatever that.
Yeah.
I don't even know who Northwest State is. We got Reagan coming on. He can probably tell us.
Yeah, probably. Northwestern State, Northwest State. I don't know. And I couldn't tell you where they're located. But
The Demons.
of Northwestern
They're
State,
second in the Southland.
they got to be awful.
Look at this. Loss.
I bet I could run for like 75 yards and a touchdown against that team. With LSU blocking for me, their linemen.
They're the Demons, so must be the equivalent of Lebanon High School. So there
Yeah.
you go. Well,
But-
yeah, I mean, so But I mean, it is still 87 points is still 87 points.
Yeah, but it's a nobody. I mean, I don't.
Still 87 points, although they gave up 10 to the nobody. So
Yeah,
they scored 48 on Appalachia State. Is that who that is? Yep.
yeah. Typically, they're a decent, smaller school team. Appalachian State is, but I'm not impressed. They lost to Ohio in North Texas.
So when we look at South Alabama, what are we looking at? We got a 20-point spread. I'm going
Yeah.
to say they cover.
LSU covers.
Yep.
Yeah, they'll beat them by more than 20.
More than 20.
Should. But
And then when we look at the over-under, 65 points.
I don't know how much South Alabama's going to score against LSU. They do show that they can score, but against the SEC defense, I don't know.
I don't see that happening. So,
So
I'm,
you're
I mean,
saying
I'm on, I don't know that I'm going to take the over.
No, yeah.
I'm going to take the under on this one.
LSU
So,
covers
Michael,
20
just so you
points?
know, you explained to me how over-under works and how spreads work, and I didn't know how to do any of that. So now we're going to have to get us a sponsorship if we can ever get a viewer. And just one viewer is all we really need for a sponsorship, I think.
We're going to advertise to one person. Yeah. I don't even know which one's which. Yeah.
It just takes one viewer, right? I mean, that's all it takes is just one, right?
Yeah, I think that's it. We get one viewer, we're on our way to being rich.
That's right. One viewer.
Yeah,
So-
LSU covers the spread, but I think it's the under. If you're a betting person out there listening, watching. But don't get mad if they do. If they do go over, don't get mad at me. So we agree on that?
Yep.
All
yep.
right.
So we settled on that one. So now let's
get
get
into
to some
SEC.
serious play,
Yeah.
right? Not so serious. I thought it was serious, but no. Not so serious.
I have that down.
Yes, that's what I said. You gotta just leave it up. Not so serious play.
Yeah. Well, the one lasts for 40 seconds. I'm not going to leave that sound going for 40 seconds.
That's true. That's true. So, but you just got to bring it back up. You know, I'm sure there's a way to adjust that. I'll work on that for the next show.
Yeah, you need to. I can't work in this environment. Yeah. So
That's the environment you can work in.
that's how you get jokes.
That's
you
the
get
envi-
laughs like that. Not your Beavis and Butthead stuff. I'm sorry, audience. He's not on it tonight. Jared's slacking.
I need to have another beer.
But yeah.
Speaking of spreads, good Lord, 37. So I guess they're assuming this is going to be a blowout.
Yeah, and I'm with
37 spread and 61 over under. They're assuming that Mississippi State's actually going to score. And I'm not sure that that's going to happen.
They're not going to score often.
I'm trying to think. Texas, so on the defensive rating scale we were looking at earlier, Texas is number 5.
Yeah, they're giving up 211 yards a game.
Yeah, so I mean that's still pretty low. That's pretty low.
Yeah.
And here's Kentucky. There's the reason why Kentucky gave Georgia what they gave them. We'll talk about that. In a little bit.
We can address Kentucky.
But of course, you know everybody's this.
predictions.
Oh, it's the coach and the coach's wife this time.
And maybe his grandma voted 1.9%.
I don't even know. Oh, this is Mississippi State is the one with the new coach, right?
Coach Levy.
Coach Levy. We talked about him last
Yep.
week.
Yeah, and
'Cause I was just sitting here thinking, I'm not even sure who that coach is, but we did talk about Levy.
yeah,
And Mississippi State did
they lost to
lose
Florida.
to Florida. So that may be Florida's only win this season.
Yeah.
And they lost to Toledo, right? Who
The
lost
Toledo
to...
Rockets, who we thought were so great, and then they lost to Western Kentucky. I'm glad I didn't go to Bowling Green. I said I was going to go up and watch Toledo beat Western. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 Western
So-
Kentucky put it to them.
Yeah, how bad does that make
Bazinga.
Bazinga? How bad does that make Mississippi State feel right now?
Man.
The fans, because they're the only ones that probably going to go look to see if Toledo lost to Western.
Of all the hot seats,
and it's his first year.
I don't think so. I don't think it'll be
No,
hot seated, but it's got to be looking bad.
Oh yeah, I just wish Vandy had them on their schedule.
Oh yeah, they're not.
No. Why can't we play Mississippi State this year?
Well, and I saw a clip, and I should have brought this as our little clip thing, where they were talking about who's opening up with Texas. You know, Tennessee was Oklahoma's opener into the SEC,
yeah.
and Texas gets the generous benefit of having Mississippi State as their
They get the doormat.
get to walk all over them, right?
Yeah.
And then they follow Texas with UGA, with Georgia, right? And
Yeah,
then
so-
A&M. So they got more ranked teams coming down the pike. I mean, their schedule's tough.
They win one more this year. Well, and I'm thinking they beat UMass.
Do you think? I mean, I don't. Do you even think they're going to beat Arkansas? I mean,
No, they win one more game all year, and it's against UMass if they're lucky.
and so who's going to be at the bottom of the conference? Is it going to be Mississippi State or Vanderbilt?
I wish Mississippi State.
Mississippi State and Florida and Vanderbilt are all going to compete for the bottom.
Yeah,
Yeah, they'll be competing for the bottom.
yeah. No, Vandy's gonna. Yeah, Vandy's gonna beat Florida. They play them. You heard it here first, Jack. What? That's kind of scary. A little scary.
I was about to say
prediction
that needs a little audio on that.
I need to calm down. I got
You
a little
better tone it
excited.
down a little
Yeah.
bit. I think the audience is going to get excited here
Yeah.
if you're not careful.
Yeah. No, so this game, we can move on pretty quick here.
Yeah, this
38.
wasn't. We didn't mean to linger on this so
Yeah.
much, but I'm not. I'm not going to
37.5.
take the over. I'm going to take the under on this one.
Oh, Texas will score 60.
Do you think so?
Oh, man, because I don't know if Mississippi State's going to score.
I'm going to take the under on this.
I'm going to take over.
I'm going
and
to take
cover.
the spread. I'm going to take them to cover the spread, but I'm going to take the under on this one.
Okay.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, it's not really exciting game.
I feel so good about myself because I know what over under is and I know what spreads are.
Yeah, it
I know
took
you're
you-
like, Jared, what
took
planet
you
have you been
45
on?
years to learn, but
Yeah.
how old are you? 45? 46. I'm 46. You're older than me.
77. I have to do the math every time.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I don't even want to talk about that. Okay,
46,
moving
at
on.
best 47.
Moving on to games that matter.
And you're a math teacher. You couldn't do the math that quick. No wonder Tennessee's math ratings for all their kids are so low. You were teaching them. You're 47 and if you've had a birthday before September 26th. You're 46 if you have a late. When's your birthday?
October 12th.
So you're still 46.
Yep, still 46.
Now, was that hard?
Yep, very hard.
You get one of those. You couldn't do the math. The price was wrong for you. Look, you go $1 and I go $2. I win.
I don't know
Dang.
that deserved that laughter. Maybe the lower laughter, the easier laughter, deserved that one. Yeah, just a little laughter, not like laughter with an applause. Just
They carry on a little bit with this laugh.
they're still rolling with the
Yeah.
laughter, you know.
Yeah. So Texas, we in agreement.
Yeah, we're done with that one.
Yeah. All
Okay,
right.
moving on. Okay, now Kentucky. Kentucky's been a little bit of a surpriser, right? That game against Georgia. So looking at Kentucky, Ole Miss, I'm not saying that Kentucky's going to win this game. You just be clear about this.
Right.
And I am still picking Ole Miss to cover the spread, but and I'm honestly going to pick the over on this because I think Ole Miss is going to score like crazy.
Yeah, I want to see them play a good defense, just like Tennessee played a good defense. You saw they were scoring, 70, 60 points, and
They
then
weren't scoring big anymore,
they score 25. They still win.
true.
So,
so you're going to pick the under.
yeah, I think so. But I don't know with Kentucky, though. It just this year.
I've not seen
Which
Ole
can-
Miss's defense. I'm trying to think who Ole Miss is playing.
Yeah. It's going to determine to me, does the Kentucky team that played South Carolina show up or the Kentucky team that plays Georgia show up?
Well, and the Georgia game was at Kentucky,
Yeah.
and
Is this at Ole Miss?
this is at Ole
Okay.
Miss. So I don't know that it's quite the same. But when we look at Ole Miss, I don't know that Wake Forest is something to talk about, right?
No,
I also know that MTSU is definitely not something to talk about, which is a shame. I thought the new coach was
Yeah.
going to rock star it. So there's nothing that really Ole Miss has
they have
done
not played anybody.
to show us what their defense looks like, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that they let Georgia Southern score 13 points, I mean, I didn't see that game, but I would presume that those 13 points were scored with the third string.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I would
Probably
presume that's
so.
not their standard.
yeah. And I think at halftime, Georgia Southern had only scored like 3. So I think, yeah. And, but
But this same Kentucky team also lost to South Carolina 31-6.
Kentucky's not going to score a lot against SEC teams.
And I know that Beamer ball is Beamer ball, but when you do 31-6 with South Carolina, then you turn around and you do 13-12 against Georgia.
Yeah.
And we already talked about last week about this game with Georgia, where it was like the shocker.
Yeah. If the score, if Ole Miss gets into like 24-28, then Kentucky doesn't have a shot. If it gets in the 20s or more, I think they got to keep it very low, like a Georgia 13-12. And you might say Ole Miss's offense is a little better than Georgia's at this point, but I don't know. But if, they'll have to keep it low scoring. Under 20, if it's under 20, UK may have a chance, but I don't think they do. I think they keep it under the spread 16 points. I think it's right there, 2 touchdowns. I think they can cover
Oh, wow.
like a 24-10, 28-14, something like that. If it's
So
20
you think Ole Miss is going to cover the spread?
No, I think Kentucky keeps it under 16. It's
Okay.
going to be close. I think Vegas is right on, and so I doubt that I'll actually put any
You wouldn't put any money on it, but
on that. Yeah, but for the sake of the show, I'm going to take UK since I know I won't lose nothing. No, I think they can keep it under the defense because Ole Miss hasn't faced a good defense yet. So
I think Ole Miss is going to cover the spread. But I also don't think it's going to be
over 52.
over 52. Yep. Yeah, I think it's going to be under.
Well, it'd have to be 53 at 52 and a half. So you're taking 52.
It can't be 52 even. I guess you don't have halves, right? But they
Right.
have a half,
No,
right?
52, you win the under. 53, you lose. So, yeah, if they hit right at 52 points, you still nailed the under.
Oh, yeah, because it's rounding.
Yeah. Are you sure you... I don't think you taught math.
I don't think it's rounding, though. I think it's in halves.
No, they're not you can't round it. No, it is in halves. It's the hook. But anytime you can get a hook, especially like if the spread was 14 and a half, you go, I want to take Kentucky to cover because if it's
So then
2
it's
touchdowns, it's 14 points.
14
you
even.
win. Yeah, that hook can get you. They call it the hook.
Interesting.
Like 21 and a half, 28 and a half. Those are 7, 8, touchdown, 7, 14, 21.
Because
Anytime you have those are
the way the
scary.
scoring
Yeah.
falls.
Or even like 24 and a half because there's a field goal involved, or 10 and a half. Those are, if you have a hook, those are scary.
Well, I'm going to pick that they don't.
And that's
I'll
what
pick
Michael
under.
Vick says.
I'll pick under.
Or your favorite.
Bazinga.
My favorite.
So, yeah,
Okay, so are we done with this one?
you said Ole Miss covers?
I'm going to say Ole Miss covers, and I'm going to say under
Under. All right.
because I think Kentucky's going to
Yeah,
hold them.
I say under, but Kentucky covers.
Interesting. Okay. So we're at odds for once.
Yep.
Okay, moving on.
You're odd.
You ready?
Yeah. Yeah. We're getting into some. Okay.
Okay, now Oklahoma actually has a team that they can beat.
Yeah.
The spread is at 1.
I think it's going to be.
I don't think it's going to be that close.
You don't think?
No, I mean, I think the
even
quarterback.
at Auburn.
I think the quarterback problem is a problem for Oklahoma. I'm not saying it's not, but I am saying that. Oklahoma's going to win.
Okay, so
And I think
right.
a spread of 1.
Well, it's a pick 'em pretty much, right? Yeah, just win the game.
I think it's going to be more than that.
Yeah.
A lot more.
So to the quarterback issue. So you watched the UT Oklahoma game, right?
Oh, when I saw the look on that quarterback's face
Oh, my
when he
God.
walked to the sidelines after that second, it was the second.
You're talking about when they put in the freshman?
second turnover right before they put the new freshman in.
Oh no, you think he knew it was coming?
Oh, I don't know that he knew it was coming, but you could see he was unhinged.
Yeah.
He was defeated, and he was like off the chain, upset, and out of control. And
So who starts this game? The freshman, or they go back to the original starter for the year?
I don't know.
And I don't know his name.
It's really weird. It seemed like it was Jackson. Is that who it was?
Yeah. No, I mean.
Arnold.
Yeah.
Jackson Arnold.
Yeah.
And so they're clearly ESPN thinks they're going to start with Jackson Arnold.
Well, no, that's just showing. That's just showing
Performance
the
stats.
leading passers of the teams. Yeah.
Leading passers and rushers. Right.
Mhm. Which I think the freshman that came in,
I think he performed better. He performed better.
Yeah, he just has to get experience. COVID.
Everything is COVID now.
Yeah.
But they put Arnold back in whenever they ran the ball. Did you notice that?
Oh, yeah.
When there was a handoff?
Towards yeah.
It's like they stuck him in just for the handoff. I'm like,
Yeah. I don't know if they were just trying to throw UT off. Or I don't know. My thoughts would have been, because I think Arnold's probably right now a little better passer just because he's a little more experienced. And maybe they thought that would throw UT off. And then, just hand
I
it
don't know.
off.
The freshmen produced results.
Yeah.
I don't even know I can't remember his name.
No, I
either.
don't either. I think you maybe go with him. If you're already pulling, you maybe this early in the year, because you don't want to get into the situation where you're going back and forth, flip-flopping. Pick one.
But the other thing that may have happened is that they may have prepared everything with Arnold to oppose Tennessee's actions. And then when Tennessee made the adjustment in the second half, because that's when everything really started to change. And they're like, oh, no, Tennessee made these adjustments, and now they're stopping everything we're doing. Let's put the freshman and see if he can do anything.
Yeah, man. I don't.
You don't think so? That much thought went into it?
No. I just think that little guy, he just ran. He didn't do anything by the playbook. He was running for his life, and he's faster. He's faster than Arnold, because UT was still getting back there. He just could run away from the pressure, and then he would pick up 10 yards. He made something happen where the other guy, he wasn't fast enough, because UT's got a fast
Auburn's defense even on the list.
No.
No.
But
Auburn's
Oklahoma's
defense ain't on the
offense is just, it's questionable. It's not a great offense, but they may score a little bit. But their defense is going to hold Auburn. So with a low spread, like a 1-point spread, you got to think Oklahoma's going to keep it low scoring. They may not score a lot, but 13-10, you win. And I think it might be a little more than that, like a 20-10, 20-13. Oklahoma wins.
Yeah. I think this game will be good to watch,
Yeah,
especially
I think
after
it'll be a
everything that
good
happened with
game.
Oklahoma in the
Yeah.
last game.
yeah, because it's still the SEC, even though Auburn's down. Like I talk like, oh, they're awful, but it's still an SEC team. You put them in the Pac-2 this year, and they win the Pac-2.
Dump your cord off the side.
This?
I keep hearing the ding, 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 ding.
Oh, sorry. Quit touching my cord.
You talked about holding my hand last time, so
Well,
I don't know.
yeah, but it's not touching your cord. Yeah.
That deserve a clap? I don't know that
Yeah,
deserves
man, that's a good one-liner.
I guess. I don't think so. But
You're,
okay.
you're just jealous. So
You
yeah,
have all the control on the soundboard, so whatever. I have no control.
yeah. Oh, what's that one?
It's the SpongeBob.
Oh yeah. I don't know when to use that. Maybe if we do a game where somebody plays Hawaii.
It's more like okay, whatever.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's
So
the time to use that
Auburn-
one.
I mean, Oklahoma for me, they win and under. I'll take the under because I think it's going to be low scoring. 45.5. I'm looking at 2013.
So we're going to both be the same then.
Yeah. Twinsies.
Twinsies. That's us.
Oh, okay. I like it.
Okay, here we go. Moving on.
Moving on. This would be interesting.
Arkansas, Texas A&M. Okay, Texas A&M ranked 24th. Not sure that they should be ranked at all, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not impressed. And then we look at Arkansas, and I haven't even seen an Arkansas game. Who have they played?
They played Oklahoma State. They beat
Played
Auburn
Auburn
last
Auburn.
week. Yeah.
I didn't watch that game. That's weird.
I didn't either. Oh, I know. I didn't get to watch
And
anything
lost to
till I got home.
Oklahoma State in 2 overtimes. Interesting.
Yeah, Arkansas is decent. Middle of the road. I think Texas A&M is too.
Both of them are 3-1, 1-0 in the conference.
So it's really a big game. They're both. One of them's going to stay undefeated at 2-0. They won't go undefeated,
But
but
Texas A&M just barely beat Florida. What does that say?
33-20. That was in the rain delay. No, that's not barely. They were up on them. I watched some of that game, and it looked. I can't remember. That looks closer than it was. I'll tell you that.
I think I watched a little bit of before the rain delay, but the rain delay was early on that game, wasn't it?
I think so, but it rained during the game. Like it rained a lot. I think it was a lightning delay.
And it was at the Swamp. Which
Yeah.
It's hard to play at the Swamp, period.
Yeah, but like I said,
Even if Florida sucks, they're still going to sell out the stadium.
Yeah. Well, I bet if they, towards the end of the year, if they're like,
Oh, there's our call.
he's a little early.
Yeah. That's okay.
So you want to talk about Arkansas?
Maybe
Texas
he can
A&M
talk
too?
a little bit about Arkansas,
Yeah.
Texas A&M, because I'd like to hear kind of Reagan's thoughts on that. Reagan, can you hear us?
Yep, I can.
So
I hear
so
you
excited to have you call in today, and you sound good to us on this side, and so we're very very thankful to have you on the call. We're actually talking a little bit about Arkansas, Texas A&M, but I wanted you to call in a little bit early because I wanted to kind of get your insights on this as well.
You get a bonus game, Reagan.
All right, bonus game works for me. So Arkansas, Texas A&M. I mean, I've watched a little bit of them play. I don't know what you've said so far, but
We really haven't got into it too much.
So
I'm
right
not
now
really impressed by Arkansas.
the spread on this one is 5.5 for Texas A&M.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I was going to say I watched a little bit of the Arkansas Auburn game the other day, and the only reason that Arkansas had any offense was because Auburn's quarterbacks did nothing but throw interceptions the entire game. So
Oh,
it
interesting.
didn't matter which one was in. So, I mean, Arkansas is okay, but is it at Texas A&M?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they'll win.
Yeah.
Texas A&M probably. It'll probably be a couple touchdowns easy. So,
And
I think.
I think overall, like it actually opened up at 4.5, and it's been, at the beginning of the week, and it's been bet up to 5.5, so a full point already. So the money has been coming in on Texas A&M. So I think you're probably you're on to something right with that.
So what is your call on this one, Michael?
It's at Texas A&M, so I go with A&M. I think it'll be somewhat close, but I think Texas A&M.
I'm going to take
Pulls it
$1 then. I'm going to take $1.
So what? You say you like that, Reagan? The Price is Right.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
So what are you saying? They're going to win by 6?
I'm saying 6. We already talked about this. I'm going to say they're going to win by 4.
Oh, so you're saying Arkansas is going to cover?
Yep.
You're picking the underdog.
Yep.
Do you not hear what Reagan just said?
I don't care.
Arkansas can run the ball, but I'm telling you, they're
Turn that down.
all right, funny man.
Yeah,
All right, funny man.
that was Jared. That wasn't me.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't think I'm just not impressed by Arkansas. I mean, in the games that they have won, you know, they thrive off the turnover, but I just don't see Texas A&M throwing that or doing that many make that many mistakes. I mean, they're playing at home for one, which is already a tough place to play. And you know, it's just Arkansas's offense is just not there. I mean, they got a pretty decent defense, but
They're
I
not
mean,
going to
anybody
score.
can intercept the ball when they're throwing it right to you.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Yeah, I think Texas A&M is fairly decent. I know Florida's down, but I watched the A&M Florida game and I watched when they played Notre Dame, even though they lost. I thought they're going to be a tough, scrappy team. They don't make a ton of mistakes. Good defense. Anytime you have good defense, you got a chance.
Well, let's move on to the game that we really had Reagan call in for. Reagan is a big Bama fan, and I haven't watched a lot of Bama. I'm trying to think when we look at like who they've played. They played Wisconsin, right? That was kind of their big game.
That's been their biggest game so far.
Yeah,
and that was a road game too. So.
Yeah,
So what are your thoughts on where we're at with Bama right now?
I mean, for me, the big change was from game 2 to game 3 was getting that. I can't remember the kid's name, but he held so many times at the South Florida game. As soon as they took him out and brought somebody else in, Alabama had 3 straight drives for touchdowns.
The
offensive lineman.
Is that offensive lineman and penalties, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and so you could tell a big difference between the South Florida game and then you go to Wisconsin, which, yes, Wisconsin was not that good, but, I mean, it's still a road game, and it's in a Big Ten stadium, and they're decent. But I think that the big thing, Alabama only had like 5 turnovers, and I went back and looked earlier to see as far as, like, run-pass distribution. There was about 30 yards difference. They had about 220 passing and about 190 running. So now the biggest thing that Alabama can do that will help them and be able to beat Georgia is obviously to keep Georgia's offense off the field.
Yeah.
So you can't just, I mean, nobody doesn't want to score really quickly, but if you're going to improve, that's the thing that you have to improve on is definitely keeping the time of possession, because Kentucky did that against Georgia. They had the ball 15 minutes more than Georgia did.
They kept
so I think
Georgia
that's
off,
a big thing.
How is Bama doing with running the ball?
I mean, they've got 2 running backs plus Milroe. They've got Justice Haynes, and they've got what's the other guy's name? Well, Milroe can run if he needs to, but their running backs are good. They even brought a 3rd-string running back in against Wisconsin just to get him some playing time, get him some reps near the end of the game. But that's just another guy that they can bring in case somebody gets hurt. I mean, that's what you can use that time for. As far as wide receivers go, I mean, they've got Prentice and they've got Ryan Williams, who's the youngest player in college football, and
is he
just
17?
running by everybody. He's 17, yeah. So he should still be in high school.
That's crazy.
But he reclassified.
Yeah.
How do you pull that off, Reagan?
Well, you know, when you got good coaches. Well, actually, he decommitted. He committed to Alabama, and then when Saban said he was retiring, then he decommitted, but then they got him to recommit. So he was actually at the Auburn-Alabama game last year at Auburn, and so that helped him, I can think, push him back over the line and say, I think I'm going to stick with my original commitment. So, but then we also have the kid from Washington, and he's a good runner, or he's a good receiver, Bernard.
He came with the coach.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think offensively, Alabama is getting better. Defensively, there's still a few things that they got to clean up. I mean, we've got Sabb that was a DB from Michigan, so he's decent.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we really haven't been burned on log ball yet. That's the only thing that really concerns me is that Georgia does go long a lot. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we know Georgia's good, and no matter what, it's going to be a good game. Every time Alabama and Georgia play, it's within a touchdown. I mean,
Yeah.
I think you give Alabama some more motivation going into it because they're an underdog. Now it's only 2.5 points, but still, I mean,
Yeah.
that's just chalkboard material right there saying, well, we don't think they're really good enough. So,
Well, and looking on ESPN, it opened at 2.5, and ESPN has it down to 1.
yeah, it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, and I think
It always is.
Yeah, and to go with that always being a close game, I think I'm leaning Alabama, and strictly because it's at home. I think that
Yeah.
gives them the edge in a game this close. That's going to give them the edge, I think.
Being in Tuscaloosa, huh?
Yeah.
Alabama is, I mean, and Tuscaloosa is a tough place to play. I mean, nowhere in the SEC is really easy to play,
Right.
except for maybe like Vanderbilt, but which Alabama will play in a couple weeks.
I don't know. You asked Missouri that question.
Vanderbilt.
No, that was
That was
Vanderbilt's
at Missouri.
better than everybody thinks they are. Yeah, they are better this year.
Yeah, but no, it's easy. But it's going to be probably 80-20 Alabama fans in Nashville.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just how it always is.
Yeah,
It's,
I actually went the last time they came to Nashville, but
Yeah, it's a road home game for just about every SEC team.
pretty much.
And I hate to say that. I like Vandy, but that's just what it is.
Yeah, it really is. But back to the Georgia game. I think another thing that will help Alabama is if they make Georgia throw the ball more.
Yeah.
Because Georgia hasn't really been behind except for the Kentucky game, and that was probably the worst I think I've ever seen them play. And their quarterback. He was
Did
terrible.
Kentucky give
So,
Alabama the formula for beating Georgia? Is that what's happened?
I think that Kentucky laid out a good blueprint for them. I mean, again, the biggest thing that Kentucky did was control the ball.
Yeah.
Now, they didn't score but 12, but they had chances, and there was a pick six that got called back because it hit the ground. I mean, it could have changed the game, and that would have put them up like 10-0 at the time. So,
Yeah, and I think Alabama's offense Kentucky's offense is not good. I remember
No,
watching
it's
them
not.
against South Carolina. They were awful. And
Yeah.
so if Alabama follows what Kentucky did, their offense is going to score a little more. I know Georgia's got a defense, but that's kind of what, if they hold Georgia down, if it's a low-scoring game, I think Alabama wins for sure.
yeah. I mean, the thing is that you have to remember, too, is most of the time Georgia and Alabama play in the SEC championship game.
Yeah.
The last time I think they played regular season was 2021, I
Oh
think.
wow, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
Oh,
so they
yeah.
don't. But that was when they were still doing the rotation.
Yeah, because
with,
they weren't in.
team,
They've not
so-
been same sided conference.
Right. So they would just rotate in, and that was was it the COVID year? Or was the next? I guess it was either 2020 or 2021. I mean, it's been a while since they played each other in the regular season.
Yeah.
Who
But, I
does
mean,
the
you look
bye
at the last
week
few
hurt the
years-
most, though, Reagan? Who does this bye week hurt the most?
Oh, I think it helps them both.
Yeah, I think it does too. I think Georgia will try to get themselves right, but then Alabama can continue to improve on offensive line and not making stupid penalties. Because the first two games, I mean, especially the South Florida game, I don't know what in the world Alabama was doing. They had too many holding penalties, and it was just stupid stuff that you're taking away. You're taking touchdowns off the board. You can't do that. So you have to be smart, especially against a
And
good
that big
Georgia team.
win
They're gonna-
against Western Kentucky, who then turned around and whipped up on Toledo. Is that who they whipped up
Yeah.
on?
Yeah.
Uh,
That's right.
Speaking of, let's ask Reagan about that other team. Who's that other team we were talking about earlier?
What other team?
Remember that? Who was it? No,
Oh, do you know where
Demons.
Northwestern State, where that's at?
the Demons.
Northwest. Northwestern State. They are in Louisiana.
Okay.
Yeah,
Demons.
I think they're I can't remember if they're what conference. Maybe the Southland Conference.
It
but
is.
it's FCS.
He knows. Southland, yeah. So we were talking LSU, South Alabama. That was the first game we talked about when we started the show.
And I told Michael, I said, if
Yeah.
anybody knows the mascot and the team location, it's Reagan Lane.
And the reason we even happened onto it was we looked at South Alabama's schedule and they beat Northwestern State 87-10.
I was going to say, I thought that was the game where they won. They scored a bunch of points.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, if you want to about South Alabama, I mean, they have pretty much run or had at least 30 or 40 points, I believe, on every game that they've played. So, I mean, even Appalachian State, who's supposed to be decent, they beat them like 49-24 last week. I think maybe it was the
close.
score. I may be a little bit wrong,
48-14. We're looking at it. You're pretty close.
Okay.
Reagan, are you
48,
sure
yeah.
you don't want to be
Yeah.
a regular on the show?
but might as well if you do all this stuff.
Instead of
I mean,
looking at
last week-
ESPN, we just
We just asked Reagan.
Yeah.
That's right. Just ask Reagan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, last week I got to be a fan, so I got, you know, Alabama had a bye week, so I watched. I mean, I even pulled up at one point the Idaho Vandals just because I was like, well, that's a cool game to watch because they were playing
Who'd they-
Abilene Christian. So
Idaho
Ah,
Vandals.
you were one of,
Golly. You're digging deep there, Reagan.
other than like the family
Yeah.
members of both teams, you were the only other one.
wives
watching
of the
that game.
coaches.
Yeah.
that's why you got ESPN Plus. You can watch anybody you want. See?
Yeah, yeah. No, that's how was it 2 weeks ago Jared asked me if I watched the Georgia State Vanderbilt game. He said, "How'd you watch it?" I said, "Well, I have ESPN Plus, so I can watch." I'm like you, especially in softball
Yeah.
season. I watched
Oh, yeah.
Belmont on TV, ESPN Plus. I watched Belmont softball.
You can watch anything on ESPN Plus.
Yeah,
It's amazing what they have throughout the week.
Yeah. I watched Grand Canyon University softball. I turned softball on and yeah, it's crazy. Like I love ESPN Plus because you can
Yeah.
watch any game you want to.
Grand Canyon.
They're decent
Here's a
softball.
stat for you about Grand Canyon, since we're kind of getting off topic here for a second.
Yeah, we have gone.
Do you remember Dan Marley from the
Yeah.
Phoenix Suns?
Yeah.
Yeah, he coached basketball there for a couple of years.
Okay. Well, that makes sense because it's Arizona somewhere out there, right? It's
Right.
Arizona. Yeah.
Grand Canyon.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Grand Canyon Lopes.
The Lopes.
Yeah.
Is that what the...
Lopes.
Yeah,
Lopes.
it's short for antelopes, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's the Lopes. So,
Yeah.
but
Their colors
Well,
are purple and gray, or purple for sure.
yeah, they are purple. Yeah. I will say, I mean, back to the Georgia Alabama game for just a second.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the biggest thing, like I said, is control for Alabama. If they can control the clock and then just limit the penalties and just don't make any stupid mistakes. They had a
Yeah.
couple fumbles in the first few games, but I mean, against Wisconsin, they caused 3 turnovers. But you know, it's just a matter of taking advantage when you have it, and just making making smart decisions. Milroe has definitely gotten a lot better at that since his first year. I remember the first game I watched him play, he filled in for Bryce Young against Texas A&M, fumbled like 3 times, and
Yeah.
dude, you almost lost the game. So, I mean, taking care of the ball is a big thing. I mean, as long as you don't fumble or make
Yeah.
stupid passes and get picked off, then you're going to be okay. So,
Yeah, I think so. So
and I
wrap,
think
So Bama is not facing Texas.
no, Alabama does have a tough schedule though. They still have Missouri, they still have Tennessee, they still go to Oklahoma. Missouri's at
And
home, but I know
LSU.
they've got and at LSU and then Auburn. Yeah, so I mean the next few weeks we're going to see who's good and who's not. So I mean the thing about the SEC is, like you said earlier, it doesn't matter where you play. I mean they're going to get up every week for
yeah,
whoever it is.
they're
I mean,
all used
Vanderbilt-
to. Yeah, they're all used to playing on the road. Like that's what-
Georgia's also
Yeah.
playing UMass. Who else is playing UMass? Somebody else is playing UMass.
Oh, Mississippi State. I said that's the only other win they're getting this year. Mississippi State's awful.
Oh yeah, that's who Toledo beat a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah,
And beat
yeah,
them like a drum.
yeah,
So
Yeah, right before they ended up getting beat by Western Kentucky, right?
yeah. Mississippi
That's
State
right.
paid Toledo. I read like $1 million to come play. Something
Well,
like
they
that.
came to watch them
Yeah.
lose,
Yeah.
like
So-
Auburn did last year with New Mexico State. So
No, that's exactly right. So as we wrap it up, what's your prediction? You want to predict a score, Reagan?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 24-21 Alabama.
Okay.
Oh wow! So you're saying Alabama's going to beat the 1 point spread? Woo!
I mean, yeah.
They
1
will.
point, yeah. If you win, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 24-21. So
Yeah,
that's what
I
I'm
can
guessing.
see that. And that actually would
Yeah, I
keep
just
it
think
under
that-
50 points. That's the over.
Yeah, I think the over is 50.5 is
Yeah.
the last time I saw. So it'll be pretty close to that if it's not. I mean, it's just hard to see neither team scoring at least a couple of times, but I
Yeah,
mean maybe more than that. But it really just depends on if you can sustain a drive. So
that's right.
When we got two powerful defenses, that's kind of been our thing to talk about defense over and over again.
yeah,
Heartbreaking for you to see Tennessee is the number one defense in the nation right now. But Georgia
Well,
is
I mean,
4
when
and
you-
Alabama is 13, and they've still got a lot of ball to play for all three teams. So
oh for sure. Yeah, you're still early in the season. That'll change. I mean, when you're playing for Tennessee's sake, when you play Chattanooga and Kent State, I mean,
Yeah.
if you let them score at all, then you got a problem.
Jared doesn't understand stats and playing bad teams early. He just thinks, he's a math teacher that doesn't understand stats. Yeah. He gets excited and he gets a little too excited early on.
maybe Reagan
He
and
doesn't get-
Michael should not be on the show together.
Yes. Probably the last time you get to
because
call
we
him.
team up against Jared.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, who's your next game we are going to discuss?
That's it.
That's
We
it. You're
end with
the premier game. So we always start the show out. Well, we decided now we're going to
Yeah.
start the show out. So we previously were starting the show out with out of conference games, and then working our
Okay.
way through the out of
to
conference,
what's the biggest game.
and then working through
Yeah.
through the SEC games from weakest game to best game.
Is
Was
game
kinda-
day going to be at Alabama then?
I don't know.
It is, yeah. it's
Okay,
gonna be
I
there
was
this
gonna
week.
say,
I was about to
can't
say that
imagine.
should be the game that they should be at. That's the
Yeah, for
ABC
sure.
game, right? So.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6:30.
But
So,
what we've been doing now is we decided this particular show, we decided we're going to open up with the big games from the previous week. So
Yeah, we'll talk about.
got
So
you.
we end with this big game, and then next week we'll open
Yeah.
up and talk about what
we'll
happened
immediately talk about this game
Yeah.
at the beginning of the next show.
before we get into the.
And now we're getting into routine. We've been doing a show every week.
Reagan, we're professionals now. We're basically pros.
Oh,
Right?
Our
yeah.
goal has been to do a 7:00 show, but it's just been a crap show every time we try to put all this together. It's not as easy as
Well,
it
we
looks.
got to do show prep, man,
Yeah, show
because we're
prep.
professionals. We do show prep.
And you got to figure out how the hell to work the soundboard.
Yeah.
That deserves a laugh. Thank you very much.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Give you a
Yes, it
small
does.
laugh.
A little small laugh.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
clap after that. No,
Oh.
no claps for me. Okay.
There we go.
So,
you go.
so we're a two-man show right now. So we're trying to do Michael's got the soundboard and I got the cameras, and we're just not doing that great of a job because we're
What?
trying to
We're
talk.
doing it's very entertaining. I told you.
It is entertaining.
Yeah,
Making fun of Jared is always entertaining.
that's right.
Ugh.
Well, yeah. Anytime you want an opinion, or if you want to play,
Yeah.
have
Problem
that
is
fire alarm go off.
Michael's got control of the board, so I can't defend myself.
Yeah, I can turn down those sounds.
He can cut me
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, you're welcome anytime. Obviously,
Yeah,
you're an
just give me a
Alabama
shout.
fan. There's going to be some more big games with Alabama down the road. So,
Yeah.
And if you ever
Yeah,
want
there
to
should
come
be
in the
some good ones on
studio,
this
you
weekend for
can. You
sure.
know where the house is, so
Yeah.
there's not enough.
Just
Is
let
there
me
room?
know.
Yeah, there's room.
we can put a seat behind us.
He gets a back seat.
The backseat driver over
I
here.
actually have the microphone stands. Remember, we had four
Oh,
people
yeah.
on the show before,
That's right.
so I got the stands in the garage.
All right, Jared. I got a trivia question for you.
Okay, shoot.
Where you can't look it up, so you just have to know the answer. Since we finished with Alabama and Georgia, where did Kalen DeBoer start his career?
Start.
Yeah.
Not where he came from.
Now, where did he start his coaching career? He won 3 national championships before he moved up.
You're talking about Oregon? Was it Oregon?
No.
Nope.
No, like a Division II, right?
Yeah, I know they were in AI, actually.
Oh, okay.
The University of Sioux Falls.
Sioux Falls.
So he was 103-2 when I was 100.
What?
I can't remember
What?
his record was like. Maybe not 103. I have to look it up again. He only lost 2 games at Sioux Falls,
Wow.
but he won 3 national championships there. I mean, he was.
So
Only-
Sioux
It's in
Falls.
AI,
So
but
Sioux
still.
Falls would have been playing for national championships against
Cumberland.
Carson Newman
Oh.
and Cumberland and
Yeah, that's
Cumberland,
in
yeah.
I mean,
something
Carson
like that,
Newman had
yeah.
some national championships, didn't they?
In
I think
football?
so. I think
Really?
in the 90s they did.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, Carson
I
Newman
think
had
so.
in the lower level, right? I mean, we're not talking about the big boys.
Right.
We're talking about
No.
the
I mean, you
babies,
know,
Yeah.
which is
But,
an
yeah,
accomplishment that even MTSU has not been able to figure out how to do.
even with Derek Mason as their coach.
Oh, they messed up with that, in my
You
opinion.
know, Michael
Yeah.
Clay is not a Derek Mason
No.
fan.
No.
I actually
Wow.
thought he was going to do something there, but
Wow.
anyway, we all learn our lessons.
I can do
Yeah,
as
and
good
I
a
will say
job
one
as
thing
he's
about
done.
Vanderbilt. One good thing about Vanderbilt is their quarterback was at New Mexico State. I watched him play a couple games last year.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been
solid. So.
Yeah, he is. But you know, he's like 25. He's an older fellow.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's one of those.
Mm. Been around a
What?
while.
Yeah, which I got to laugh in the
Who?
Tennessee game. I got the Tennessee's linebacker. The announcers were. This is so funny. They're like, "Oh, that's so and so, the middle linebacker."
Yes,
They go,
he's got the long hair.
"He's 26, married with." He's like, "Yeah, he's married with
Yeah,
kids."
they call him the old man.
yeah,
What is his name
Wow.
again? I'm blanking on his name
yeah.
right now.
He's their middle starting. I think middle linebacker. I can't remember. But man, they said that. I just laughed. It was.
Tom Muck would be ashamed of me right now because I can't remember the guy's name.
Yeah. But it's getting a
would
little
be.
out of control. Used to never have that old of guys. Chris Winkie was the only one I can remember that played
But I
at
think
Florida
he's a
State.
graduate student. I want to say he's a graduate student. So,
But it's right.
Well,
It's
I
more
think-
common now.
well,
Yeah,
and you've
there
also
was a
got
guy
what the
that's,
extra year of eligibility, right?
Well, look at the guy from Utah, Cam Rising. Like he's been there 7 years or something because
Yeah.
he keeps getting hurt, and they keep giving him more eligibility. And he's hurt again this year. So, it's like how many
Cam
times are you gonna give
Rising?
somebody a chance?
Yeah. Right
That's
there.
his name. Yep, Cam Rising at Utah. So
And he's their
Utah's
quarterback,
pretty
huh?
solid too. But
Is he their?
yeah, he's their quarterback.
Oh, he's the dude with the long hair. I've seen this
Yeah,
guy
he
play.
I mean, he looks old.
Yeah, he does look old. He looks older than he is. I
Yeah.
think he's 26 or 25 too, because he's
What?
been around a long time.
He ain't got gray hair like you yet,
If
Michael.
you told me he was 31, I'd believe you. I'm serious. He does not look. If you said he's 31, I'd be like, yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So is he their
That's
starting
funny.
quarterback?
Well, he was, but he got hurt. His hand, he did something last week in the Oklahoma State game where he hurt his hand. But I don't know if that's just a.
So this is multiple
brief
injuries
time
that
he
have
could be
made
out.
it to where he's continued to have
Oh,
eligibility.
every year he's hurt. Yeah, every year he's hurt. He does something. So
He's like a kid
Stay
that
in
won't
college.
leave the house. The parents can't get him out of the house.
Stay in college
Yeah.
for eternity by
Yeah.
getting hurt in the first game of the season.
that's right.
He won't leave.
No, he just wants to keep playing. So
All right,
he's a
well,
professional college student at this point. So
Well, thank you so much for calling in, Reagan. I appreciate you coming on with us.
yeah,
And,
yeah. Thanks for having me. And anytime you need me, just let me know.
You bet. We'll be talking Alabama ball more with you.
see you, Reagan.
All right, sounds
Later,
great.
Reagan.
Y'all have a good weekend.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. All right.
Well,
Reagan
we
on.
got started in the late, forever late,
Yeah.
and then we screwed up and recorded
Yeah.
incorrectly 8 minutes worth of showtime. So
Yeah.
I'm sure our audience now is sick of hearing us bullcrap for forever.
That's right. Reagan Lane is the sports almanac, like a walking sports almanac.
Yes, I would say that's a correct statement. And so anyway, so
But
Michael,
yeah,
it's been a fun show as always.
yeah, it was good.
I appreciate you coming out and hanging out with me
Yeah, it's fun.
here high atop Scott Social Media Studios, which
That's
is
right.
what, the bedroom office in the
Man,
corner.
I had a great joke I was going to do too. I forgot it. That goes with high top, and I cannot remember now what I was like, I got to save that. I can't remember. Maybe I'll remember this coming week.
Maybe.
But yeah, had a good time. Hope if anybody watches this, they enjoyed it. And yeah, next week, Jared.
Yeah.
All right.
Same bad time, same bad channel, or at least we'll try to.
That's right.
This has been a production of Scott Social Media.